And the first performer is Kedrick James. A lot of you know Kedrick. You know his work. He's been in Vancouver, I think, all his life. Elsewhere as well, but he was born in Vancouver, is what I mean to say. And he knows this place very well, and he's been an amazing contributor to the art here, to poetry, to venues, to publishing, to performance, to avant-garde poetry here and elsewhere. And then he went and got a PhD and went from downtown poet to UBC. And now he's running the education department in Okanagan, UBC Okanagan, which is amazing to me. But it couldn't be in better hands. Before that, he was teaching English to the English teachers at UBC. He was teaching poetry to the upcoming English teachers in BC. And, again, it couldn't be in better hands. He was giving them all sorts of approaches to poetry, that you normally don't get in school of any kind. This was what he was doing, and I have no idea what he's doing to them in Kelowna right now, but I imagine it's very good. Kedrick James.
Thank you, Dan. Pity the fools, pity the fools. Okay, this is a spectacular opportunity. I'm so delighted to be here and to have the opportunity to read with the inestimable Adeena Karasick and the ever amazing and inspiring Lionel Kearns. Legend of poetry, not just in Vancouver, but Canada and around the world. And of course, the world famous Jim Andrews. And let me just tell you that Jim's work transcends a lot of different boundaries. I go to these kind of conferences on electronic literature, and all they do is they talk about Jim Andrews all the time. I feel kind of special. So I've got a few little pieces. Somebody is going to say, shut up, as soon as I hit my 20-minute mark. The first one I'm going to do for you, just to keep it in line with beautiful, digital multimedia weirdness, is a poem generated by writing a poem and then having it read in the voice of a child, and then using voice to text. Now, the thing about children's voices is they don't have many format waves, and format waves are a function of the voice that is the primary way that speech to text works. So this is intentionally a glitch poem, and I'm going to do some glitch stuff with you because I'm into glitch pedagogy. And so this is Babies. This poem is called Babies. It's a glitch poem. It goes like this. Don't know what's care for stress. Test like leather. Skin is stronger when you are. Oh, hey. Are you yada? Where dog at? Yes. Ooh, yeah. Or everything okay? You there later by or do you want to use this for the text and the artwork? You busy tonight? Are you today? Maybe you should plan a visit next week, or I said this internet yesterday, or and the morning just week, or I said this internet, or say no, my mommy, remember that mommy does this SMS is okay, mommy, meeting his name is in place, there are her. So you want to go to Brazilian dress, or are you going out no brisket, or what are her, or what was the address, or yes, for you to get dressed, or are you getting up for milk, or user don't know you have to get dressed and then you get up and milk, and or user don't know this is your first, or are you just buy for starters you don't have any more, or don't yell at me, yell at each other, or you won't know recidivist, or you have to get dressed, or you won't know recidivist, or to go to bed, or but we'll just get dressed, have your milk, or are you had a good time, or are you today, was you, or is the subpoena, the secrets for bed tickets, for letting us know, or you, me, why I've been hitting that hard large. Are you dressed? Just getting up is interesting. There's nothing more than yet. Or call her. Oh, hello. Or 0, 0, 0, 0. Low. Or 0, 0, oh, 0, 0. Or. And I'm on my Newman a little later, living well. Where are her girl? Or are you leaving in you? Where are you? In Italy tonight, right? Or I was literally getting out again, and there are you sending her a hater? Usually what you you leave you without you here, love, to ride her money, or take care of my baby daddy, baby. Hello, are you or bad? You doing daddy? Or you love her, or care, or Jay, or would you be anything to thank you? I love you, hello. To get ready soon, what you think you know you are long, have you been here? How long? Yeah, by her, and why am I? Or going to her, on her, or where? Why can't you just get where? Or are you doing to her? I'm going to miss you. Or and body, or you guys say that about, or I'm just sad to be, or doing this tomorrow, or I'm going to miss you, or is Eric messaging, or you say stand nice, or are pressing messages, cameras means you don't mean that I don't let her, I think you said I should be happy again, he's out there, or not, please come, or he, or again, he's out there, not please come, or I'm killing me today, or daddy, are you a career, Maddie, I'm curious, or how's your clean sisters get here in the first place, or show me what your boys leaving free basketball, I don't end up, or right now, are you AI, why not tell me that, stop, you stop, it's all AI, I have my job, I don't want to meet you there later, I want you to send me something that I don't. I am going to find out. Amy, or are you not call me when you are so nice to cancel? Or are you trying to be curious how much of twin sisters to get? Next one's a little poem that's in a language that I'm calling glitch syllabic, okay? So this is an alphabet created out of the idea of glitching various things, and it tries to lean into Old English and then mutate it and mash it up. And so this actually began as a poem, a real poem, like a good poem, not like all the rest that I produced. It was a good poem, and I glitched it with some weird Old English psychotic business. So it goes like this. Zincha vora keldamur vuntal skridai slider full bli fekren los Spandrel ren kara vulk ni blå met Straum etnil vomar belleken ra kreilixel drovetter kan wilo thread be golden still glitchen red thy orbit will. It's been long time. Great time for that. And just in keeping with the general theme, this isn't great literature. You get that after, okay? Just the warm-up act, all right? This isn't great literature, just the jottings of a jingoistic riff, the rantings of a pluribus distraction, an addled and incoherent gathering of weeds collected by the insouciant layabout, sucking straw, a mind so prosaic in its pedantry as to be blunt as a butter knife when slicing life into bits, an inadequate mastication, sticking to the gums acidic and tasteless as an addict's tongue, but for a jibe or witticism of ugly candor, you might cast the value of a good nap at it. As one throws gold to a guppy, as if by accident one was to extract some gem, some rough diamond from this dreck, it would not be the fruit of this spew, but rather the child of an accidental association, interpretation which lifts the text to a dizzying station through, though only inches off the ground. The mundanity of intention, a restless, relentless, egoistic ploy, this poem. Indeed, there's nothing more of essence to be extracted. Others have tried. Oh yes, but no. Nothing bears repeating or frosting of a lip in heat. A quip to warm the toast. The stately welcome, a ready host with tales. Instead, it is excrescences of a mind, desensitized, numb, goggle-eyed, aging gracelessly in the flood that an unfortunate levee left unchecked, awash in a godless prospect of inattention. The politics of dispossession by a rotten editor, a hole in the ground occupied by pornographic penguins, literal litter. And let me tell you, penguins are some pornographic little creatures. That's the truth. Just throw a tidbit of info in to the general nonsense. Okay. So, literal litter, nonsense whelped into verse without care, pride, or worse, cursed and vile, prevalent evil widening its grip on the alphabet, neither kind king nor wicked fool, just a knavish drone, a clone of poems come and gone, a parody of platitudes turned cold from icy, caring glares, a torrent of discontent soured by imposture, lack of erasure, a living room disaster at the popped button bloated gut of its lazy proprietor, not wit nor savvy, neither clever nor spectacular failure, too many prepositions. Huh. You ever tell yourself that? Writing one way too good. Cheap, uncheerful rhymes worthy of no more title than op-ed, dead. The immobilized wine, a tiny fritzing engine, a glitching adverbial charge, a widening gap of metaphor and meaning that leans less to wake than fake. A would-be, a cellophane transparency, a secretary to the ministry of misery. Depravity without gain, the bankrupt cogitations of a walking spreadsheet. Did you get that? Spreadsheet, no, that's not right. A type of toxic flow, bought talk on mold book, a homeless blabbering gabberwocky, pomp and ceremony for the launch of a dinghy. A fairy tale of comic bribes to pay a social debt. Ultimately more crying wolf than smoking gun, more con than invention, more abstract and illogical syllogism than one hardcore pact. With salubrious applause, let's give it up, oh hell yeah. So, not poetry, nor spoken word, nor barstool prophecy, neither hardline nor punchline nor romantic recline, unfinished, unfurnished, not ready to read. No, not ready to read, Lionel, not ready to read. Unfinished, unfurnished, not ready to read. No greater futility than waiting for the words to self-organize. Though it might seem right to not beat them, eat them into submission, own them, treat them as objects, we object to these oratorious oligarchs. That's a nice word, I made up oratorious because I'm kidding. Their arrogance, printing new words whenever it suits them, these poets. The filthy, rich Kedrick James eats his words. He eats them raw, ripped straight from the ground with the roots still hanging down, dangling. He chews too loudly, crunch, chuckle, crunch. When he swallows them, his Adam's apple undulates. It's disturbing. By law, he should have to chew them more. He swallows chunks at a time, like a ravenous raven, tilting his head back. Gulp. He is a glutton, cramming his fat face full with his greasy grammarian hand. You'd think he'd never heard a word before. It's never ending. Look, he's sweating. Disgusting. He works up an appetite by eating all day. Big chunks of syllables stain his mustache. In his ragged goatee, you can see crumbs of yesterday's news. How many words did he eat? He is a billionaire, the 1%, leaving no words for anyone else. Whole paragraphs decompose in his seventh bloated stomach like a flatulent ruminant. He is a corpulent cow. Whole corpses fill his bog. It is said you can smell them as far away as Mexico. It pains him to relieve himself. He moans before he goes, as if suffering the dearly departed before they are gone. He can't even spell. Moron. Why suffer these word-wealthy fools? Tax them. 50% of the alphabet off the top, and Kedrick James is still obscenely rich. He and his cronies are hoarding all the best words. They are locking them down, setting up supply chains, funneling this nutrient down their cavernous, gaping maws. Looking down their nouns at the rest of us. The language belongs to everyone. Saying so. I feel like we need a farewell to the inevitable. Thanks. That one caused me a laugh to myself. I knew it was going to be one of those private laughs. There are other languages besides these words, however. There are languages of silence. There are languages without light. There are slow languages like the talk of waiting that utters the bark of trees, words whose dental consonants have cavities like geodes. There are languages of taste that constantly evaporate into abstraction and liquefy again, like the language of love. Language is a form of meaning, of relaxating, of bidding farewell to the inevitable. Since the beginning of time, when all beings were equally poets, another language pecked the sand and rose like smoke, above the anodyne dancers whose exotic gesticulations were themselves a native language, a mother tongue. This is a reading. This is a reading by Jim Morrison. You gotta be joking. Old Jimbo. Mr. Mojo Rising. A poem and a reading about film and his curious death. About the century that passed on his lips and hips. About the death of his cock. And about the death-dealing gun talk that stalks him through the after-party of the launch. This is already a reading the dead have done speaking. This is the voice of the dead reading aloud a poem that isn't about the present time. It is Jim Morrison jamming in a bathroom with posthumous reverberant tiles. It is his fine-haired skin. It is his taut buttocks clenching. Yelp! A libidinous echo in the chamber of monetized disasters. A distraction tattooed around the tiny room of this poem, abdomen heaving, heavy words, reverbing, a seasoned being, long-winded and aeolian toned. It is a reading, stoned, immaculate. This is a reading by Jim Morrison, Beyond the Perimeter. It breaks on through walls, borders, tortures. Thick-skinned missionaries, mercenaries, generals' ears. For days, months, years, it echoes among decades. It is ready to set sail on a crystal ship, to shell out for the 21st century, sold to Fox. This stall, this studio, this diminishing silence, in this crowded perspective of the doomed eggshell mind, the summoned box, the dead reading live at the Whiskey A Go-Go in Spanish drag. It is a shameless spectacle inspired by long hair. It dares to repeat, to resemble. Objects in this rumor are closer than you think. It turns on Texas radio and big LA beat it, whispers an ancient American prayer to fossilized taxpayers of a shithouse in flames. It does it 2 times, then 5 to 1. This poem licks the wall of a Miami jail cell. This poem is arrested. It opposes astrology and implores the night to offer up its feast of friends to the giant family. All the girls, pills, grass, come on! All that you can imagine, that morbid canon of everything tumbling from tombs, from the showerhead where Jim Morrison pouts and begins recounting the drunk future like an old blues man. It is a reading that doesn't know it is over. It is an encore in tune with the times. It is Jim Morrison full of rancor, of piss and vinegar. It drops acid in Aldous Huxley's attic. It drops out of nowhere. It is cathode static. This reading is antenna TV and 2 channels. Under the influence of leather pants and board bell bottoms, this one is a draft-dodging poem that fucks the general spleen and ideal. It lubricates gregariously. It lubricates. Feel that filthy, dirty word. Lewd as my cum on baby firelight. It digests the wind of madness in motel money murders. Jim Morrison is reading a poem canceled by sanitized culture. He hums it like a hymn, like a gin, like a crooning vulture. This poem is a movie that repeats in each new beast. It is an ancient creature of decadence and wisdom like Rimbaud running feral through the streets. It is drop-dead gorgeous. It survives by stealing rings from LA women's index fingers. It survives. It is a Long Beach, the Bay, baby. It holds up trains. It is daylight robbery. It is infinity in a grain of lucid sand. Read while miming a shop window mannequin's pose, or read. It is overexposed, the torso of a literary lifestyle. It is fun that won't drop the mic, won't stop grinning and griping, won't win a fight but waits by the back door of the roadhouse for strange people to touch it in a storm drain drenching, riding a dream to the end of music when songs are over and done. This is a reading by Jim Morrison.
Have we had enough?
That was fantastic. Language unleashed for sure. Amazing music. I forgot to mention that Kedrick is the front man for a noise band, a very noisy noise band called See-Through Zoo, and he showed us the first, what are they called? The first pressing?
Oh, test pressings. Look, the kids today. I'm so excited.
Test pressings of a new album with this band. So, that was great to see. And thanks so much, Kedrick. So I'm going to show you some visual work, and then we're going to take a break, and then Lionel will be on, and then Adeena. So I mentioned that I've known them for a long time, and we've done work together. So I want to show you some of the work that we've done together. So I'm going to have to sit down at the computer here and do that. So this is some work that I did with Adeena, videos. She did a piece called Salome, a performance piece. I can get my mouse over to that screen. There we go. And so some of these are basically between abstract art and visual poetry. So this is using some software that I wrote. That's basically what I do. I write software that then takes images and creates digital collages of them in some way. And so I took a bunch of images that Adeena gave me of stuff from her work and text basically, and then I fed it to this software that I wrote, and so it came up with this. It is AI. I wouldn't describe it as AI. I'm not using stuff produced by Google or it's not corporate work. It's stuff that I've done myself. Software
You've been
that
doing
I've
it a long time, too.
Sorry?
Yeah, you've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are we watching a video that's already been recorded, or is this performing live now?
This is already recorded.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So this is more in that same sort of vein. Again, taking images that Adeena has given me and creating, feeding them to my software. It's called Aleph Null. Aleph Null is the first order of infinity in the work of a mathematician by the name of Georg Cantor, who produced some of the most beautiful mathematics of the 20th century. Actually, I guess it was the 19th century even.
So this is ALEF. M-U-L.
A-L-E-P-H.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah, oliphenol, yeah.
what you're saying, yeah.
So an oliphenol, it has different brushes, like these. You see that there's two straight lines rotating there. So these are different brushes in oliphenol that sample from images. And instead of using color as paint, they'll sample from an image and they'll use just that straight line of sample from the image. So again, it's sampling images, only the brush in this case is a letter. Here we have two brushes. One is the rotating straight line, on the other is letters. So that's some work that I did with Adeena. Yeah, one of many projects. She'll be doing a couple of pieces that we worked on. Yeah, let me get it set up here. Yeah. So this is something that Kedrick wrote for a piece that I did called Sea of Poe, which is an app zine. It's an app and it's a magazine. It's got the work of 54 poets in it. But it's also an app in all sorts of ways. You can create your own poetry inside of it and save it, your own poetry animations. What we're looking at here is going to be screenshots from an animation. So we'll do this version of it, and then I'll show you the animation version of it. But Kedrick really nailed it. And he wrote this especially for Sea of Poe. So, Kedrick.
Called Machine Melodies. In this world, AI write poems about people for other AI who write criticism tremulously. Signs circle overhead, blind vultures, conducting music for the deaf, icy city. Landing with a plop, a large raindrop on the drooping porch. Notes roll down, champing at the bit. Revise and recommit. All I ever wanted was jumper cables balking at my charge. Moreover, and more under, sense is superfluous, cheap as talk, meaning irrelevant, disrespectful even. All I ever wanted, charms, plastic islands, the air no match for machine melodies, the matriculation of these tendency digits. Forget the sunlight. Forget the sunlight. Some analogies trace anti-signs, mind the antibody, the luminous tether, a database cinema. Each sinew consciously begins optimization. Holy anomalies, backlash, backward paroxysms, legitimate spouse. The vent, he called it. The vent. Below a banner ad, daylight, no longer worth saving. So, I just say that the reference to a database cinema is actually one of Jim's software. He has a thing called DB Cinema.
Sweet.
Yeah, so Kedrick really nailed that. And I mean, in the way that he constructed this. He constructed, I made this so that you can make your own poems. Kedrick made his own poem in this. And he really nailed it. So this is the thing that he made in Sea of Poe. So it was a different experience of the poem. And that's one of the things that Sea of Poe is about, is different representations of poetry. There's the stills that we looked at, and Kedrick reading the poem as well, the animation. And then in Sea of Poe, there's also this window here, which has the text. It's hard to see, but this is the poem that he was reading right here. So there's different representations of poetry going on in this piece. It's kind of a highlighted part of it. But anyway, he was the only one who did it with a white background and black text. We do all sorts of color in this piece. He did it with kind of a print look to it. And it looks great, I think. And it's a different experience in poetry. I mean, you know, that's another one that he did. Yeah, he did too. In Sea of Poe, yeah. But anyway, that's at seaofpoe.bizpo.com. If you want to check it out. My site is vispo.com, vixpo.com, short for visual poetry. I've been doing this site since 1996. It's my life's work, such as it is. You know. I've taken the website seriously. And people will say I could pay for that. It's possible. But I've taken it seriously as an artistic literary form. And pretty much everything that I've done since 1996 is on this poem. This is work, by the way, that we were looking at earlier. This is stuff that I did with Bill Bissett, the collaboration that I did with Bill Bissett. Taking his work, about 350 of his visual poems from the 60s to the present, and working with them in software that I wrote to create these digital collages. But, and this is my assistant, Allie. What am I doing for time, by the way? 8:15. So how am I doing for time? Another 5? And here's a piece that I did with Lionel called Soliloquy, which, could you read it? Can you do the vocals for this, Lionel?
There's no vocals.
Yeah, there is.
There's no vocals. But I can say what it's all about. You're going to do the soliloquy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Soliloquy?
Well, it's based on the difference between the difference and the similarities between the two words solitude and solidarity. And Jim dances the letters through, and they work through from sol, soledad, solitary, and so on. And it's various pieces and derivatives, and it works through to the end to solidarity. And that's really all it is, but Jim makes a very interesting set and setup as it goes through. So let's have a look at it.
Okay, well, yeah, I really like this piece. And it was basically all Lionel's design and writing. I just basically did the programming. Soliloquy, solitude, solo, soul, solitary, isolation, desolation, only, lonely, lone, one, solidarity.
Yeah, you do a good job of the sound.
So we'll take a break for about 10 minutes.